Hi guys, so today I'm going to be filming here. This is just my desk. I have something which needs to be fully kind of zoomed in on rather than just me holding it, so I thought I would just do it in this space rather than having to hold it up continuously throughout this video. So today I'm going to show you something which was handmade for me by the Midnight Crafter. So here is the overall shape of the piece. It's kind of flat along the bottom and then it's sort of arched. It's almost like a circle that's just been slightly cut off at the end. And in it has a whole array of different things. Basically, I left her free rein to make this piece. Just sent her 101 pictures of things I like, things dotted around my room, and she's been able to incorporate them. I am just so overwhelmed with the amount of detail and skill that's gone into this, and I just really wanted to show you on camera because she literally got it down to a T. I had in my head a slight kind of image of what I wanted, and this just, it beat anything I could have imagined. Now before I even start, I'm just going to let you know that the Midnight Crafter does have an Etsy store and all of her pieces are quite similar to this. They're all highly detailed, handmade, beautiful little pieces, and not all of them are just kind of display pieces like this one is. You can also get boxes and kind of more functioning items, although you do know that I like my kind of display pieces. So, and also it does have tiny little like interactive elements to it, which of course I will be showing you throughout. So I'm going to go in a little bit closer now and just show you the whole detail. Thought I'd just show you the overall look. It is meant to be a kind of curiosity shop, and actually on the back it does have a story. So I thought I would read you the story first to kind of set the scene of what was going on. So the back has this gorgeous kind of Halloween paper with loads of different kind of text on it. It's all about kind of being bewitched and oddities and rare. It's just, it kind of really goes with the story. So this is kind of printed on a sticker and the edges have kind of been burnt. And it says, "The Haunted Bat Curiosity Shop. If you decide to visit the strange town of Pumpkinton, you may stumble across the Haunted Bat Curiosity Shop. Inside you'll find amazing artifacts, curious crystals, perplexing potions, unusual ornaments, and astounding animals. Gomez, the talking cat, greets you at the door, while Tripod, the three-legged bearded dragon, will offer you a grand tour of the building. If this isn't shocking enough, the ghost will leave you paralysed with fear. Are you brave enough to go inside?" And then it says that it's designed and created by the Midnight Crafter, 2016. And I can guarantee this is not going to be the only piece I get from her. I would really love to grow my collection and just have a whole range of these amazing creations. So as she said, if you are brave enough to go inside, I'll now show you a bit more of the detail within this amazing piece. So this main character is the skeleton. He is sitting on a little black kind of stool. It's got really nice fabric kind of draped around, and he's holding a little key that's around his wrist. Now everything is fully and nicely secured down, so nothing is kind of wobbly. I did not worry, but I wondered if things would rattle around a bit, but everything is nicely secure in this. Here is the little skeleton. He looks very withered, and although he's obviously plastic, he does have a very kind of realistic look to his bones. He's sat in a very chilled out pose. I don't know how she got this pose. I don't know if she kind of dissembled him in some kind of way, but he's just chilling on a little decorated sort of bench cushion thing. So on the side, as you can see, there's this beautiful wallpaper that goes up, and it's just such a nice pattern. I would quite happily have this in my house. So there's a broomstick, which I believe she made herself, which is absolutely gorgeous. I will link her video below because she can go into a little bit more detail about how she made things, but I do know that this little broomstick was handmade. On the wall here there is a clock, and I believe it's about 5 to midnight, and on it it says a happy Halloween. And it's got various little like pumpkins and Halloweeny embellishments. She's then added this sort of Victorian lady picture. I do love my Victorians, and I also love my photography, so this was totally relevant. And I like that she's put like little details in the corners. These are the tiny little touches which make this so amazing in my opinion, because it's little things which I wouldn't have bothered doing. I would have just stuck that on there. So it's amazing that she's kind of thought that through to that extent. So going up, there is another little thing on the wall, and this one is, I don't know how well you can see it. That's probably a bit better. It's like a little sunflower, and underneath it says "Beautiful." I'm not sure how she was able to source such cool little letters, but they're very nicely detailed, and of course, just like everything else, it is raised up. Obviously this is a play on the word beautiful, which kind of goes with the really pretty flower, and then there's a little bat behind there. And I find when I look at this, I always spot new things. I always look at it and think I've seen it all, and then suddenly I spot something else. Up on the ceiling there is a little kind of poster, I guess, of a Halloween scene with a pumpkin, and it says All Halloween there. I would really like this as a human-sized poster. Going around, there's another pumpkin posted there. It just says that it's a seed card, so I'm guessing that's some kind of advertisement one. And then right behind this kind of set of drawers, it says Huntsville's Butcher Shop. I'm not sure if she knew this, but I absolutely adore the film Sweeney Todd, and I don't know why, but that just reminds me of it. So going on to the walls, lighting is a little bit hard, so I have added a candle, which I guess goes with the eerie effect. But on the walls here, she has made a little kind of, not a bookshelf, but a sort of shelf, and on it she's got loads of tiny little things. So now right at the top she has my lovely plates, and as you can see, she's literally got them down to the T. So this is my Halloween Queen plate, and then this plate here is my You Can't Sit With Us plate, which was also made for me, and it's obviously from the film Mean Girls. I showed her these plates. Now these are both plates which I bought from Hell's Bells. I have them up around my room. I don't know if you know this because you probably can't see from the majority of my reviews and hauls and things, but I do have kind of plates surrounding the top of my room, and the majority of them are from Hell's Bells. And right in the middle there's a kind of another plate of a little Victorian man, and this one has a gorgeous little sort of trim around the outside, and I just feel like it fits so nicely, and I would adore this as an actual plate. Now I believe she makes all these little bottles and things here out of tiny little beads. So there's various little potion bottles there. There's a little candy corn because I am completely obsessed with candy corns. There's a tiny little toadstool there. Again, I collect toadstools and they are my favourite. Then there is a little jar of something. I can't quite tell what it says. Maybe golden syrup. Probably doesn't say golden syrup, but a little jar there, another little fancy bottle, and a few more various potion-y bits down there, and another gorgeous kind of plate looking item. This literally represents what my shelves look like. If any of you have watched either my bedroom tour, although that was a very old video now and a lot has changed, or even my curiosity video that I did recently, my drawers are just full of little things like this, especially tiny little toadstools. And also I'd just like to say that she made this shelf. It has gorgeous patterns. There's like almost a wood effect, the same as the wallpaper there, and like loads of little spiders, and it does actually kind of sit on the wall. So on the side, which is the bit you see, the plates are kind of sat on top of it. It has a little bat there and a bat there, and then this cute little owl and this adorable spider, which I absolutely adore. And something which I didn't notice until I watched her video is that there's like a creepy little hand coming around the outside, which is obviously creating the kind of spooks which you get when you enter this shop. So I'm just going to start working along now. So here is my little Gomez. Obviously she knows about my kitten and my dragon and things. So this is little Gomez wearing a lovely red little collar. Now it's almost impossible to see, but right at the back behind Gomez there's some tiny little dried flowers on a shelf. Then there is a little glass, I think it's glass, it looks sort of like a glass painted pumpkin. And then here she's made a little bowl of crystals, and from what she said, these are actual real crystals. And as you again have seen from my videos, I do own a lot of crystals, so that is very accurate. And in the background it has this kind of like newspapery sort of look. I love all the different sort of papers and sort of, I want to say textures, I think more patterns, which she creates throughout all of her pieces. Now on top there is a little garden gnome feeding what looks like to be a little piglet. This may be kind of almost a strange feature, but actually garden gnomes are one of the things which I most enjoy collecting, but we'd be here all day if I was to show you them all. And then again, another little potion bottle. I don't know why, but this sort of reminds me of tomato ketchup. So I'm just going to say it's tomato ketchup because tomato ketchup plays a very large role within my life. Up behind there is some more shelves. So on the shelves there's like a little pumpkin bead, some more tiny little bottles, a tiny little piggy bank which is so cute. And she didn't know this at the time, but actually little piggies and tiny little piggy banks are actually something which is quite special. My boyfriend's parents like collect little pigs, so I don't know how she was able to know that that was something important to include within this, but somehow she did. Above that there's like a little haunted bat sort of button, and it's got tiny little ghosts coming out. An Eiffel Tower just there, lovely hanging bat, which is one of my favourite things within this. A tiny little sort of figurine of a cat and another pumpkin, because she knows I love my pumpkins. And these shelves are amazingly like attached. I don't know how she's done it. I tried to make a mini curiosity cabinet myself, and I just couldn't get the shelves to fix, but somehow this lady just creates miracles. Like, no one knows how she does it. Going across the top it says TheHauntedBat for obvious reasons. There's a few little bats flying around at the top, and this really cute like skull with even like little details within his eye sockets. Then this like window scene in the background. There's this big wooden, it's like a dresser in the background. Around it there are little bones. These almost look like they're made out of like a glue gun. I really have no idea. They look way too neat to be made out of a glue gun, but they've got a sort of like shimmery look to them, but they completely match the skull. And then there is the nice oval with a sort of spooky scene in the background. There's like a little graveyard and a little spooky house in the background, which I'd like to think that the owner of this curiosity shop would live in, and a tiny little witch flying across. Now there's some more little potion bottles behind there, and another little jar of something, and then this hand. This hand completely reminds me of like my palm reading statue. I got this like ages ago from TK Maxx. I kind of just use it for putting really big rings on and stuff, but it just completely reminded me of that. And then a cute little crescent moon, which you all know I love my crescent moons. Below that there is another shelf. On this shelf there is even more things. It's jam-packed just like my life. There is a little silver shoe, which I think is really cute, and actually, again, psychic powers. I have a shoe that looks like this in my garden, although it's made out of stone, and when I see it, it just reminds me of the stone in my garden, which I absolutely love because it's just overgrown with moss. There's a tiny little skull, and we all know I collect my skulls, and then a tiny weeny little, well, I think it's meant to be like a potion bottle, but it looks like a tiny pumpkin to me. Now, moving to the main part of the shop, here we have a adorable little cash register. I thought that she bought this, but she actually made it, and it is just amazing. Like, I can't get over it. Again, I know I keep saying this, mind reader, this looks exactly like the one I get in the place where I get my body modifications, so I was so excited to see this. It's the right colour and everything. She's put all these tiny little buttons on with beads. Like, I cannot get over that. It's just, the detail is amazing. We've got some little bats, of course, and a 31 because, you guessed it, Halloween. Let's not forget our spooks. And I love how it's got like a little drawer. I almost want to find like tiny little coins to put in there, and it just sits really nicely on there. Next to it there's this gorgeous pumpkin. It's definitely the biggest pumpkin in the whole shop itself. It's really nicely detailed as well. I would love to know where she gets all of these little bits, because I would have an absolute field day if I had things like this in my craft collection. And then moving along, the star of the show, who would be giving you a grand tour, there is a tiny little bearded dragon pod. Like, I don't know if she's done this on purpose, but it appears to actually be like missing one of its back legs, and it's the right leg as well. So I don't know if she did it on purpose, but it looks just like my dragon. It's even got the little scales down the back and the grumpy face, which my dragon is usually pulling. But I was just so excited to not only see my little Gomez but also my pod in there too. So moving down to what is probably one of my most favourite parts of this whole thing is the little drawers. No word of a lie, I have drawers literally just like this in my room, and each of them, I believe she made like this bit herself, and the drawers seem to be like little match boxes. I'm not sure, maybe I'm completely wrong, but they do fully function. So all of them have different little labels on them. She has said that they're quite fiddly to get open, and I completely understand why, because they are so tiny. But I'm going to show you what's in each of them, because when I saw the picture of this, again, I was so excited, but I didn't know they opened. So when I realised it opened, I was like, oh, it's just all that added like extra detail, which just makes this so amazing. So this one says witch potion. So when you open it up, inside you find lots of little bottles of witchy potion, which is just amazing. So the next one says bone dust. Again, I will link her video below because she explains how she made all of this stuff and what she used. But there's like a little bag of bone dust, which is actually, you can like move around a bit. It's like proper like dusty, sugary substance in there. And even the detail within these little drawers, like she's put a little lace pattern underneath. It's just all these tiny things. Like this like must have taken hours and hours to make. This next one, spider legs. I find this one so funny, and hopefully it will show up on camera okay. But inside there's loads of like little bags of spider legs. I don't know why I think this is so hilarious, but it's like something I would have like in one of my drawers. Just, oh look, here's a bag of spider legs. Anyway, the next one, wing of bat, which I also think this one is super clever, just like all of them. I think all of them are absolutely amazing. Again, just pay attention to the amount of detail that is already like just on the floor of this, just on like the base of this drawer, without even considering the fact that she's cut up tiny little bats and put the bat wings in there. I do actually own some bat wings, so maybe I could make a little drawer like this. Enchanted Elixir. So in this one, now the bottom ones are actually like super fiddly to open because there's no sort of hand maneuver space as such. There you go. So in here there's some little pots of magical elixir, and there's even like, it's sort of glittery, and there's even tiny little star stickers. Just I don't know how many times I can say this in a video without it getting annoying, but the amount of detail is absolutely crazy. I still can't get my head over it. On this one it says haunted objects, and inside there is a cheeky little ghost which has been haunting all of the objects. I actually have one of these ghosts already. She sent it to me with like my Halloween like little goodie box, and I have my little ghost sort of sat with all my oddities. He's literally just like propped up with all the rest of them. I'm like pleased to have another one because I think he's just such a cute, cheeky little character. So those are the drawers, as you can see, all fully functioning and amazing. Now I just noticed something else which I didn't mention. Right underneath this sort of shelving cabinet thing, there is also a wooden sign that says pumpkin patch and corn maze. So that is so cute. There's so much in here. It's things like this which they kind of almost blend in with all the other detail. When you're looking closer, you're like, wow, how like did she paint that? Like, did she print, where did she get this stuff? Like, please let me know. We kind of come back to the skeleton scene, and right here there is a bird cage, and it says Trixie on it, and there's actually like tiny little birds in there. Now I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this, but like right at the bottom of the bird cage, she's actually wrapped it in little spider print paper, which is the same as the shelves on this side, and she's even kind of decorated it all down to make it blend in with all the other spooky things. Now something which I noticed literally when I turned my camera on, I just completely bypassed this previously. There is some little like corn hanging up there. I don't know if potentially I've told her about this in the past, but I have like an absolute addiction to sweet corn, which is on like corn on the cob. It's like my favorite thing. It's probably meant to be like maize and like relate in with like pumpkins and things, but I'm just going to take it that she's a mind reader and she just knows that I would definitely have like an extra supply of sweet corn hanging up on the side of my shelves. So I'm going to go and show you a few more things on these shelves because these ones are equally as amazing. So there's a little toy red car, and behind it there's a little ghost, another little pumpkin which is so cute, and then to me that looks like a candle. I'm not sure if it's meant to be like another bottle, but I think it looks like a candle. She then has like another little kind of potion bottle there with a gorgeous tiny little label. I don't know how she does this. She must have to do some of these things under a microscope, magnifying glass, because it's so detailed. A little skull, a tiny whiny little dice, and this looks like a legit dice. I don't know why you'd need a dice that small. Some more little potion bottles. There's a tiny little poison bottle right there, which 110% reminds me of the poison bottle which Wednesday Addams is quite commonly depicted with. So I don't know if she was playing on my Addams family obsession there, or if again that was just another mind reading moment. And right at the top she has some books. So on the books you have a poison book, and on the side there is a little ghost. There's a book that says spells, one that says magic, and then there's this really like diamondy looking glass bottle there. And I think that's pretty much it for the inside. I haven't even talked about the outside yet. As you can see, it is immensely detailed, and I am 110% sure that I've probably forgot to mention something or other. So as you can see, the overall sort of look of it is very, very busy. Already seen something I forgot to mention. The floorboards are all like, they look as if they are proper like wooden floorboards, and there's this little mat as such. It's got of like a doormat. I think that's what they're called. I have one going into my room that says like welcome to my haunted house, and then I have another one which also says happy Halloween, which I got from one of my sort boxes. So ghostly greetings is probably one that I would happily own if I saw it being sold in the shops. I think that's everything inside. I'm probably wrong, I'm probably missing something, but I'm going to show you the outside now because the outside is equally gorgeous. So around the outside she's used this kind of like spooky stripy paper. It's kind of like orange and black, like the perfect Halloween-y colours, and then she's also stuck these strips across to give it more detail. She's cut out these kind of creepy moons, which again, just crazy mind reading moment. I used to literally be obsessed with the moon face emoji. Like when I was at college, me and my friends used to just send it to each other continuously without any other conversation. But yeah, there he is with a little bat, and he looks like he's looking at the bat like, hey bat, how are you doing? Like, they're friends. Going up there's some other little bats which have been cut out, and I believe that this is exactly, yeah, it kind of is very symmetrical on either side. Again, you've got the bats and the moons there, and then right at the very top, which is going to be very difficult to show you, hopefully you can see that okay, right at the top there's like bunting which is all made out of it's sort of pumpkins with the letters on it, and it says Haunted Bat. Don't even ask me how on earth she was able to do this. I don't know if she had the letters already or if she had to make the letters and print them out. I have no idea, but it looks absolutely amazing, and it's kind of the first thing you see when you're standing up. And I guess finally what I would say is that it's also on these tiny little balls which just make it nice and sturdy and keep it standing up. So it is freestanding, it doesn't need to be leaned up against anything, and I'm just so in love with it, hence why I felt the absolute need to share it with you guys, because I can guarantee this is not going to be the last of my Midnight Crafter collection of handmade things. Now, I also wanted to tell you this because this isn't like the only one she has made. She's made loads of similar things to this. When I was talking to her about this, I was telling her like probably about 7 different things she's made which I liked the look of, and she kind of blended them all together and then chucked in a pinch of things which I'm obsessed with, and psychically worked out a load of other things I love, and then ta-da! Honestly, although I'm sure she spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on this, it didn't take that long actually to get, like considering the fact that I originally talked to her with a complete blank slate. We had like no idea at all, and then suddenly probably not even a month later this was created and sent to me. Like, it doesn't seem like that long ago at all, although I know it's been a very busy kind of October. Still, I could not believe the turnaround time for this. So this is more of a custom piece. She sells loads of awesome things. I'm going to link both her channel and her Etsy shop for you down below because you just need to check out some of her stuff. A sneaky little bat has told me that she has got some more spooky Halloweeny sort of themed things coming out as well. So I'm going to be on the lookout for them, but if you guys can find them first, you're welcome to them, but I'm hoping to snag them myself, as horrible as that sounds. But she does have other little kind of wintry ones. As I said, not just display pieces, also kind of like functioning boxes and things. And for me, as someone who is also very creative, I find it very inspirational, and it's just amazing the level of detail. I've never seen anything like this before, and that is another reason why I just had to show you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're still feeling spooktacular. If you've got any questions or comments, please do leave them below. Definitely go and give this lady some love. I cannot get over the amount of detail. I don't even know if it will show up on camera, but this thing is just, this is possibly one of my most favourite things I have ever bought, and that is saying something. Anyway, I hope that you're feeling spooky. If it's sunny where you are, I hope you're enjoying the shade, and I'll see you next time. Bye!